Sammy, I know when we first interviewed with you, you were obviously, I think, like what, 4 or 5 months pregnant with Sienna. And I know making a salon change was like really scary at that time. But my question is like, what even drew you to wanting to apply to blend? Like, what weren't you currently receiving, or what were you not getting out of your current salon that like made you want to work here? And especially making such a scary jump when you're 4 months pregnant.
I knew Blend was newly open when I started here, but I saw that there would be um, an alignment with values that I had as a stylist with Blend. And that really made me want to make the jump while I was 4 months pregnant. And I saw the potential of the stylist I could be and where my future could be.
Yeah.
And I just knew that what you guys were trying to go for with Blend was I knew I wouldn't have the opportunity to work at like in Maryland.
Sammy, when you first started working here, you told me how much you made at your previous salon for the year.
Mm-hmm.
You ended up making that amount in the first 4 months of being here,
Mm-hmm.
pregnant.
Yeah.
So how has working at Blend impacted your life
Financially.
financially?
Guys, you made me cry. Oh my gosh, it has impacted my life in so many different ways. It's been life changing just to be able to know that I can give a life to my daughter and I can provide for her just solely independently if I needed to. And I can just give her a future where she doesn't need anything, like she doesn't have to ask for anything. That is something that Blend definitely has given me already in just a year of working here.
I know obviously when you transferred salons and when we had first like interviewed with you and stuff, you had said that you had like you didn't really have obviously like a fully booked clientele there, but you were trying to build a book, but you just didn't feel like you were able to really like build a book at your old salon. So I feel like when you first had transferred over to Blend, obviously like you started off with just like a few days behind the chair and then obviously picked up more. And now, I mean, you're booked out pretty much 4 days a week, fully booked. And I mean, you've worked here for I think almost a year. How it was even possible to build your clientele, your dream clientele anyway, so fast when people, especially that are new in cosmetology school and new beginning stylists, are maybe scared to go into like their dream salon because what if they don't get clients, you know? So like, well, how did you build the clientele? Like,
First off, I think the resources that you and Kels have given me as a stylist, that's a big one. That's a game changer because you pour so much into each one of us. And it's kind of like with all the resources we have, it's easy to build a book in that amount of time.
yeah,
And not only that, but just Instagram,
yeah.
like really making sure that I dedicated and put the time into building my Instagram up and with that reflecting of the clientele that I am attracting
Yeah.
with the things I post.
So how many like talking about Instagram, like how many I guess like new client inquiries would you say that you get like per week on Instagram from like posting consistently?
I would say like 5.
5 a week,
Yeah.
like new color inquiries. I mean, like that's insane. That's insane. It just honestly goes to show you in this industry, if you're consistent posting on Instagram and like doing the things that Kelsey and I engrave into these girls of making their career successful, how growth can be accomplished in such a short amount of time. So, I mean, it's amazing. So, that's awesome.
Is there like any piece of advice you'd give to a stylist that is growing?
I would say a piece of advice I would give because I think of myself 11 years ago when I was growing and newly starting this career. I would say piece of advice is make sure where you are, you can see yourself there in the future. Don't waste your time somewhere where you don't feel 100% about. And then I would also say, unfortunately, just like take At first, when you start out, just take everything that you can, even if you don't want to. Like, you grow when you're uncomfortable. So put yourself in situations and take the clients that might be not what you're looking for and that you're uncomfortable, but just try to see the bigger picture. Taking the leap of faith when I was pregnant, I was super scared to start at a new salon and restart my career essentially. When I was 4 months pregnant, I knew that I was going out in 3 months later. I knew I was going out on maternity leave. And it was scary, but it has, wait, can you, but it was the best decision I have ever made financially, um, in all aspects of my life for me and my family. And I'm so excited for my future at Blend Salon.